Hello everyone and welcome back to English Conversation 616 for humans who talk to humans. This is chapter 2. So in this chapter we're going to learn what's your superpower. Now we're going to be using pop culture references like Marvel, DC, anime and other superhero references to talk about your superpowers. So we'll use that as the basis to translate into everyday skills and abilities that we have. The objective in this chapter is to learn how to describe your personal skills, talents, and hobbies using pop culture heroes and fun comparisons. So we have a warm-up question, 3 as always. The first warm-up question is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? So here we have a question in the form of an if question. So if you have an if question, it's a conditional or a hypothetical. So when we answer the question, we can also use if. We need to change you to an I. If I could have any superpower, so you'll see that the majority of this question is repeated. If I could have any superpower, if I could have any superpower, and we'll use the comma as well. We'll borrow the comma from here. What would it be is for the question form. We change that to it would be. Okay? So we're using these 3 words. We're not using what and we're not using you. The what comes at the end. It would be what? It would be. So a simple way to fill in this part here, we'll use different types of superpowers. So we might call it super speed, right? Super strength, super intelligence. So we can sort of any particular skill or ability, we add the word super in front and it becomes a superpower. So this is a very basic way to answer the question using the grammatical structure that's inside the question for our answer. If you want to use other words, for example, teleportation, we don't need to use super teleportation. Super would be more than normal, or is more than is usually humanly possible. So Captain America or the Hulk have super strength, which makes them superheroes. Who's your favorite superhero and why? We have a why question and a who question within the same sentence. So, who is your? So we can start by changing your to my favorite. Just note again, I'm using the British English here with the you, but in the text it's actually an American or North American English. So my favorite superhero is, because we've got who is, who is, right? My favorite superhero is, and it's asking for a favorite, so you can only pick one, only one here. So let's just say, for example, Thor. We have a comma because my favorite superhero is Thor because he is, we could say strong, or you could say powerful. I don't think you could say intelligent, but he's very brave. right? Lots of qualities that most superheroes have. If you want to just make one point, that's okay. You might want to say he's strong and. So if you want to use 1 and 2, you might want to use he is A, B, comma, and C. So you could use 3 examples of why you like a superhero. Perhaps in the comment to the video here, you might want to practice this sentence. My favorite superhero is... If you want to name more than one hero, perhaps you want to say, my favorite superheroes are... Oh my gosh. My brain is thinking ahead too much. My favorite superheroes are 1 and 2, or you might want to go A, B, and C if you want to use an Oxford comma before the and. I'll write this again because my handwriting was so poor. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's much better. What should I do? I'll do it down the bottom. I'll do it in a moment. Do you have a hobby or skill that you're really proud of? So this is how we've talked about superheroes in terms of their powers. We've given an example of a hero and why we like them. And now we want to talk about ourselves. So I have a hobby or skill that I'm really proud of. Well, if I talk about myself, it's okay to do that as a practice as well. I'm really proud of my baking skills. So I am, instead of you are, I am really proud of my something skills. Right? So as my example was, baking, you might want to say cooking, you might want to say sewing, might want to say running. Maybe you're really good at running. Right? Skills here is a plural because you have many skills together in a particular hobby or skill set, right? And I'll just, because my handwriting was so poor here, I'll set some space here to write it again. So you might want to use a number, so use a different sentence structure. My 3 favorite, let's say, my 3 favorite superheroes are 1, 2, and 3, right? So I really like Iron Man. I really like Thor. And let's just say Hulk, right? As an example. Thank you very much for watching this. Again, use these sentences, comment below if you want, and then I'll edit and help with feedback in the comments below. Thank you. Here we are with chapter 2, what's your superpower? Vocabulary. So, I wonder if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that might be better for this particular video. There we go. So we have 10 words as always, and I'll give you the examples. I'll read this for you. Superpower. Superpower. We have superpower. Superpower. A special ability, usually from comics or sci-fi. Sci-fi means science fiction. I wish I had the superpower of invisibility. Oh, that's a good one. Invisibility. Like the Invisible Woman from the Fantastic Four. I wish I had the superpower of right? Invisibility. So to be invisible, people cannot see you. You can add whatever you want to the end of that sentence. This is where you'd put it. Teleportation. 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 That's moving instantly from one place to another. Teleportation would make traveling easy. Yes, it would certainly be easy. It would be instant as well, wouldn't it? It would be instant, so it'd be very quick. Quicker than quick, right? It would be very convenient or very accessible. Let's say convenient. So I would love to know, with teleportation, right? If you could teleport as a verb, if you could teleport, where would you go? So I would teleport to them, right? As an example, I would teleport to, I think I'd teleport to the beach when it's sunny, or I'd find somewhere that had nice weather to do what I want, and I'd teleport back home on a rainy day, for example. Number 3, time control. Well, this is really important. This is a real superpower to some extent. So the ability to pause or change time. So we have time, we count in seconds, minutes, and hours. But you can control that and stop time or go back in time, right? Pause time, so that would be to like stop time, or change the time might be like time travel. Oh, that would be cool. Travel, you could go to the future. You could go to the past. Again, if you want to practice a sentence, if you could time travel, where would you go in the future? How far? And what would you go back to in the past? Would you go to see someone in your family being born? Would you go back to see grandparents to have another chat with them? Would you go back even further to see dinosaurs? Assuming you could travel back here as well. That would be quite cool. You could take a camera, do some research, then come back and tell everyone about stuff. It'd be very useful. Time control would solve all my problems. So maybe you are somebody that needs more time, so they would solve all your problems. Human IMDb. Now, we talked in class, the IMDb is the database of movies and TV shows and actors and actresses that you can subscribe to and keep track of everything you like and what you've watched with ratings and find out all the information about movies on the internet. So this basically is big data regarding movies and TV shows. So we can use this to describe a human, a person, who knows a lot about movies. Kind of like a movie genius, right? A movie genius. My friend's a human IMDb, which basically means they are very knowledgeable. Okay, they're very knowledgeable. Lots of data. Level up. Like a computer game, you might go up levels to level up your character, but it also means to make an improvement in a skill. So to improve a skill or ability that you have. Basically, everybody can improve something in some way. So I need to level up my drawing skills. Now need, you can conjugate this sentence in different ways, or modify it, sorry. I want to, I would like to level up my, let's say, tennis tennis skills. You might want to say my handwriting. I think I should. I'll have to write tennis skills, but handwriting is not handwriting skills, it would just be handwriting. So need, want, would like. I need to. It's more of an urgency. There's some reason why you have to. I need to. Maybe you have an exam or you want to draw some nice picture for somebody for a gift. I want to is more about a personal choice. I would like to is also the same. There's no need to, no hurry or pressure. It's just something you want to do. Multitasking. Multitasking is when you do several things at the same time. Multitasking. Multitasking is my real life superpower. So some people are very good at multitasking. Other people are not so good at multitasking. Hobby. Practice the pronunciation here, please. Hobby. Hobby, not habby or hebby. Hobby. Like hot, like a hot tea, hot coffee. Hobby. And a hobby is an activity you enjoy in your free time. So it implies that you choose to do this when you're not working or have other things that you're doing through need or necessity. You choose to do this activity when you have the time to do so. So my hobby is collecting action figures. So collecting is quite a common hobby. So we can modify the sentence by saying my hobby is collecting. Another popular one was stamps. Right? My hobby is collecting maybe dried flowers or spoons. These are quite random, but these are things that are very easy to collect, accessible collectibles. Talent. Talent, as we discussed in class, is somebody's natural ability to do something well. Now we'll assume two people here. We've got blue and green. Now blue will be Lionel Messi and green will be another player. Though it's not important because whatever. Lionel Messi has a natural talent for football, so he'll practice 10 hours every day and he'll get to 100 skill points. The green person will practice the same time every day, but they'll only get to like 70 points. So they'll be 70% as good as Messi is at football. A natural talent gives somebody an advantage when the practice time is the same or the opportunities are the same, but one person just happens to be better because they have a natural ability, a natural talent. So she has a talent for drawing anime characters. So again, the yellow will highlight where we can change different examples. She has a natural talent for singing. Some people are just very good at singing. It's a skill you can practice, like drawing. But some people are just better at feeling and getting the sense and the mood of something, like artistic skills. Comic book. A comic book is a magazine that tells stories with pictures and text, like a cartoon in some ways. So I've been reading Marvel comic books since I was a kid. Kid meaning child. If you want to change this sentence, you might want to just get rid of Marvel comic books. You might just want to say, I've been reading books since I was a kid. I've been reading, let's say, thrillers. Right, we don't need to say books. I've been reading thrillers. I've been reading mystery novels since I was a kid or a child. And sidekick. Oh, sorry, you couldn't even see that, I think. Sidekick A sidekick is the partner of the superhero, their teammate. So the most obvious example is Robin is Batman's famous sidekick. Batman has other helpers at times, but Robin is his teammate from a particular point onwards. I'll read through the vocabulary one more time very quickly as a quick review. So we have superpower, teleportation, time control, human IMDb, level up, multitasking, hobby, talent, comic book, and sidekick. If you want to practice making sentences with these words, comment below in this video. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome back to chapter 2. This is part 3 of 6 for chapter 2. In this episode, we will cover the model dialogue. So I'll just read this and then I'll go through where you can make changes if you want to modify that to suit your styles. If you could choose any superpower, what would it be? I'd go for teleportation. Imagine skipping traffic every day. Nice choice. I'd probably pick time control. I'm always running late. Same here. But in real life, I guess my superpower is cooking. That's a great skill. Mine's probably remembering movie quotes. My friends call me the human IMDb. Haha, I need to level up my memory for that. So some of this dialogue is a bit weird and unnatural, perhaps for the way you talk, but it's trying to use the vocabulary from this section. So any model dialogue is uncomfortable because it's trying to squeeze in too much of the vocab in a very short space of time. It's trying too hard, basically. So bear with me. If you could choose any superpower, what would it be? You might want to say choose any superpowers. So you might want more than one if you want to be greedy. So we'll just add an S, right? Superpowers. What would it would then become, what would they be? Because we're talking about plural powers here. I would go for, so I'd is I would, because it's a hypothetical, I would go for teleportation. Imagine skipping traffic every day. So this is the superpower, and then this is what you're going to do with that superpower. Again, hypothetical, so we're using the word imagine. Imagine skipping traffic every day. You wouldn't have to ride the subway or take a bus or spend your time traveling in cars. Nice choice. I'd probably pick time control. I'm always running late. Maybe they should just pick speed. They could be faster at stuff. If they're always running late, then just be fast. Get ready. I would probably pick time control. And again, the reason, I'm always running late. To improve your communication, the end of these sentences are the reasons. This is what's important. Your choice is not important. The reason why is important. It should make sense. Time control, imagine skipping traffic every day, doesn't make sense. Right? Teleportation, I'm always running late, that does make sense. So that would be okay. Same here. But in real life, I guess my superpower is cooking. Now, we've got this punctuation here is used because superpower is not a real thing. So it's superpower. Ooh, superpower is cooking. So maybe you're very good at something, like counting, right? Good at numbers and remembering, processing data, right? I'm good at listening. That's a great skill. Again, the end statement, this person's response, the end statement talks about the skill, and the next person carries on by acknowledging the skill. The same we did here. I'm always running late. Same here. Continue. You're responding to what the person said, and then you use this as a bridge to what you want to say. The bridge to what you want to say. Mine's probably remembering movie quotes. My friends call me the human IMDb. Ha. This is ha-ha, but you might want to just go ha. You might just not want to say that at all. I need to level up my memory for that. Okay? Thank you for watching. Right, hello and welcome back. This is chapter 2, and we're part 4 of 6. So talking about our superpowers. This is the language focus. So I'm really good at. We might want to modify really or really good. We can use very. We can use particularly. Good at. So I'm very good at, I'm particularly good at, I'm especially good at. If we want to change I'm, we want to make this about somebody else. My brother is, right? I'll come over here for these examples. My brother is. Instead of I am, my brother is. So we're using is. My sister, father, wife, child, daughter, is. Okay? If you want to use are, A-R-E, right, we want to use a plural thing here. So my, it could be my friends. Friends, plural, are. My parents, plural. My children, are. Okay? Very good at, particularly good at. My, so I'll use a nice example here. My son, Leo, is very good at drawing. Okay, he's very good at coming up with characters to draw, combining items and animals. This is his favorite thing to do. My superpower is, so we can complete the sentence with super speed, super intelligence, super something, right? If you want to conjugate, or not conjugate, if you want to modify, sorry, if you want to change this sentence to stop talking about yourself and talk about someone else, you might want to say his or her superpower is, right? I'll do S for superpower, is. And then we complete the sentence. If we're talking about more than one person, their superpower is. And the reason it doesn't change to are for a plural person or group of people is because you're still talking about superpower. Superpower here is the singular form. If you want to talk about more than one, so we'll come over here for the example because I'm running out of space. We might want to say her superpowers are. Okay? So that's the key element here. If superpower is a plural, superpowers will change to an are. If it's just superpower, it'll be is. I've got a talent for. You might want to make a serious, or you might want to make a funny ending to this sentence. I've got a talent for cleaning. Some people can clean very efficiently, very well. I've got a talent for spending money. That's faster than I can earn money. So some people jokingly say, think I have a talent for spending money. Or I have a talent for, perhaps you have a talent for saving money. You know, being frugal, not spending lots of money. Everyone has lots of different talents. If we want to compare to pop culture, so I'm like the human IMDb. I'm like the human IMDb. Maybe you want to say I'm like Superman. I'm like the Flash. I'm like Sherlock Holmes, right? Instead of I am, maybe she is. He is. Like something, right? Or again, my daughter is like I need to level up my skills. If we want to modify this sentence, I need to level up my, let's say, football. Right? Let's say cooking. Right? This is where we put the particular skill that you want to level up if you want to modify that to have more information. Why don't you try using some of these sentences to practice and then comment below with whatever you want, and I'll do my best. I won't do my best. I will return the comment and help you improve your English. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Welcome back. This is chapter 2. We are now on part 5 of 6. We're going to do the practice activities now. So you need to fill in the blank. Some of these are quicker than others, so we'll see what happens. I think my real life is baking cakes. You got it? I think my real life superpower is baking cakes. So we're using a real skill where the yellow highlight is, and that's what becomes your real life superpower. Tell me about your real life superpower. Choose a superpower and describe why you would want it. You would. Again, hypothetical. It's not real, not going to happen, but you need to choose one. Now, you can check the other videos for different superpowers, or take time by pausing this and coming up with your own ideas. So I would choose, and I need a why because, right? So I would choose something because okay. What would I choose? I would choose so many. I want to be able to fly. I want to be able to run really fast. I want to be able to teleport. I want to be able to time travel. I would choose time travel. Okay. Let's do time control. Because I could then do, I'll write everything else below here. Everything I want to. So we say, like, for example, if I want to do extra explanation, so 24 hours isn't enough time for me, right? It's a lot of time. It would be the same time, but it would be nice to pause things and pause time to have more of it. to enjoy some parts. I would choose time control because I could then do everything I want to. 24 hours isn't enough time for me. What details are you good at remembering? Now in class we talked about the difference between the past and now, how humans have changed their habits and behaviors to make some remembering less important. So, are you good at? So what I am good at remembering, right? I think the example I used in class is phone numbers. So phone numbers is a memory skill not very important these days unless you lose your phone. Some people are very good at remembering their bank account numbers, right? Some people are very good at remembering their passwords. Some people are not very good. I have to, reset password how many times a week? So that's difficult for me because I've got so many different accounts for stuff. I am not good, right? Let's say not very good. I'm not very good. We make that a negative. I am not very good at remembering phone numbers. You don't have to be. I am not very good at remembering bank account numbers. You don't have to be. I'm not very good at remembering passwords. That's a big problem, right? Good at. All right? Sometimes we talk about good or we talk about well. So here we want to make sure we're using good at. If you want to use the word well, we need to use a different structure. I can remember phone numbers. Oh God, phone numbers well. Right? That's describing how you remember the numbers. So that's the difference in structure if you want to use the word well or if you want to use good at. Write 3 sentences using level up and multitasking. I need to level up my blah 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 skills. Right? You might want to say, I need to level up my multitasking skills. So you can do your own sentences. I don't need to do too many examples for you. You can do that in the comments below and I'll edit and help you out. So we role play here. Pretend you're at a superhero fan event. Introduce yourself and your real world superpower. So we don't have to talk to someone else. Hello, I'm Matthew. Right? I'm a big, let's say Iron Man fan. My real life, I said real life. Let's do real world, sorry, because it's real world here. My real world superpower is, what's it going to be? I'm a big Iron Man fan. My real world superpower is procrastinating, multitasking. I'll say it's multitasking. I like multitasking, so keeps everything fresh. Super simple. 3 sentences, basically, to introduce yourself, and then the person you're talking to hopefully will carry on. Right. So let's crack on with number 6. Make a list of 3 hobbies and describe them using pop culture references. This might be difficult to think of on the spot. So let's say one of them is cooking. I'm good at cooking. Let's say I'm like the Flash, right? When it comes to cooking. All right, I'll explain what that means. So the Flash is super fast. So this sentence would mean when I cook, or when I'm cooking dinner or lunch, I'm very fast at doing that, very quick. So I'm like similar to the Flash when it comes to cooking, right? Let's say like Superman, the sunshine gives me energy. So when Superman's pretty tired, goes up into space, gets more sunshine, seems to heal his body, get all that captured in his cells, and I feel like I'm the same sometimes. Not necessarily a hobby, but tanning could be a hobby, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same. We're just using examples of pop culture to describe ourselves. That's the key point here. Let's say like Captain America, similar to, let's say, Captain America. I like to, I say, not get rid of it. I like to protect my friends, for example. I won't say I like to. Let's just get rid of that. So sometimes ideas change in the middle of a sentence. I protect my friends. Right? My friend is the human when it comes to movie trivia. Trivia is like information or data, right? Knowledge. And it's IMDb, small b there. Take a look at the IMDb, maybe sign up, join it, and then you can keep track of the movies you watch and give them ratings so you can remember. You want to discuss with a partner, what skill would you want to level up in real life and why? Or you can talk to yourself or the person you're in the room with now if you want, or you can comment below to tell me. What skill would you want to level up in real life? So we use the sentence in real life. I would want to level up. Okay, I'll do that again. In real life. In real life. Instead of you, I would want to level up my something skills because, okay, so here we put what skill and then the reason, the why is going to go there. So you can comment below or just write in your own notebook to practice yourself. If you want to erase would, in real life I want to level up my skills. That's perfectly fine as well. Would is more about imagining, again, something that's not really going to happen, or you're thinking about it. A want, just I want to, is more certain, something you really do want to do. Question 9, a sidekick is the leader of a superhero team. Well, side is not the main, so that's false, right? And finally, question 10. Write a short paragraph about your favorite superhero and what real life skill you share with them. Oh, that's difficult. My favorite superhero is... Gosh, my spelling is... It's not my spelling, it's my handwriting because I'm thinking ahead too much. My favourite superhero is... da-da-da-da. We'll keep that as a statement sentence. So my favourite superhero is... And what real life skill you share with them. Like... same hero, him or her, you can use as a different pronoun, but my favourite superhero is Iron Man. Like him, I am good at something. Okay, not really a paragraph, it's more like 2 sentences. That's fine for practice. If you want to write more, you can write more. So my favourite superhero is Thor. Like, let's say him, if he identifies as a male in this particular sentence. Like him, I am good at fighting, right? I'm good at whatever. Not a great example. I'm not good at fighting. Or maybe I am. You won't know until you fight me. Thank you very much. Okay, welcome back. This is chapter 2 of English Conversation 616. We are in part 6 of 6. The final part. So what is a sidekick? A sidekick is... Okay, what is a sidekick? The sidekick is a main hero's helper or assistant to the main hero. Complete the sentence. My superpower is... My superpower is... You might want to have super something. Super intelligence. Super speed. Or it might just be my superpower is speed reading. Some people are very quick at reading. I'm a very slow reader. Translate hobby into your language. So, in Korean, hobby is chimi. So, why don't you comment below, if you want to, with hobby in your language, if your language is not Korean, something else. Outside. What does level up mean? Well, level up means... Level up means... This is how we answer a definition question. Level up means to improve something, right? To improve something, or like to improve a skill. To improve a skill. Name a pop culture character known for teleportation. Oh my god, who's known for teleportation? I don't know if this counts, because he can't teleport, but Doctor Who, does that count? Doctor Who's TARDIS, time and relevant distance in space. Doctor Who, inside the TARDIS, can teleport, right? So, yeah, you let me know if you agree or disagree. I think it's fine. So Doctor Who, or the TARDIS is his phone box, the police phone box that he travels in, the blue box. The TARDIS is known for teleportation. I-O-N, there we go. The TARDIS is also, massive on the inside, small on the outside. What's the meaning of human IMDb? So we have human IMDb means, again, definition question, means someone who let's make a long form, is very knowledgeable about movies and TV. Okay. List 2 expressions used to talk about skills. So, I'm very good at. That's an expression used to talk about your skill at doing something. We might want to use a new one. He is an expert at something. She is amazing at da-da-da. So we can use these expressions to talk about someone's skills. He is an expert at cooking. She is amazing at baking bread. True or false? Multitasking means doing one thing at a time. At a time, so at one time, doing one thing. No. So that's false, right? Multi is many at the same time. So it's not true. If you want a sentence of how to answer this grammatically correctly, so multitasking we would answer the question directly and then give a better response. So multitasking does not mean doing one thing at a time. It means doing many things at one time, or at the same time, or simultaneously. Write a sentence using comic book. Maybe you don't like comic books, so write that. I don't like reading comic books, right? I haven't read a comic book. You can write the whole word, I don't want to. I haven't read a comic book since I was 10. Maybe you haven't read comic books since you were a little child. Or maybe you are a child. You could be a child watching this. Share your favourite real-world skill using my superpower is. My superpower is da-da-da-da. My superpower is. I like to use multitasking as a good example because I think I'm pretty good at that. But it often means things don't get finished because I'm starting too many stuff at the same time. So what is your superpower? And we might want to do real world. Okay? Why don't you, if you'd like to, you don't have to, comment below. Thank you. Bye-bye.